Hey softies, welcome back, welcome to my channel. Hey. Alright softies, we gotta talk about GTA 6. The internet is losing its mind over the $100 price tag for the Element Edition. And honestly, I'm caught in the middle. Half the people that I spoke to believe that it's a standard evolution of gaming, while the other half think that it's a digital hostage waiting to happen. Is this just the price of modern gaming? Or are we being set up for a disaster? By the end of this video, I want to know where you stand because this is going to change how we buy future games. Alright softies, so let's get into the fairness of the $100 price point. There is a segment of the community that views this as a luxury service. For them, you're not just buying a game, you're buying access to a premium service. More cars, more clothes, more hair. It's a lot like getting into a bougie lounge. A premium service. The environment and the exclusivity. Some people argue if you want to have more bang for your buck, you have to be willing to pay for that extra access. The question is, what point does it feel like having a premium access feels like they're carving the game up? And of course, we have to talk about the big elephant in the room, the greed theory. Bars. I believe it's about testing the player's loyalty to the company. If they're gonna normalize people spending $100, even if it is for a game period, they're gonna do this with other games. I don't think that all games can do this. I feel like obviously Rockstar can get away with this and maybe Nintendo games. I also think that it is exploitation of FOMO as well. They know that players are going to prioritize this game over financial judgment. At the end of the day, we are the market. These companies are gonna do what we allow. If we're willing to spend $100 on a game, they gonna keep running it up. Like, the power is in our hands, y'all. We control this crap. What we say about the game is gonna affect the game. I guess we're just gonna have to wait until November. Alright softies, so now we have to talk about security and ownership. Sure, everybody knows that this game is digital. There is no disc as far as we know. And there are some risks with doing this. We may be moving to a future where we do not own our games anymore. We're buying the temporary license just to play them. You're at risk of getting hacked, a server outage, or an account lockout, and you will lose everything. I do know the reason why they are doing this in the first place. They were having instances where people were stealing the actual game boxes. So they believe that creating a code where you would put into your console just to load up the game is the solution for this. But let's not just talk about the downsides of having a digital. We need to talk about the benefits of having a disc in your hands. Having the disc is a safeguard. You can lend it to a friend, you can trade it in when you're finished, or you can resell it to recoup the investment. With digital, all those options are in void. Beyond the money, there is a freedom access. With the disc, you are not at the mercy of the internet or a server proving that you own the game. It's the difference between owning your experience instead of renting it. I already know some of y'all gonna be like, Rockstar ain't gonna shut down the servers, that's not gonna happen. Well, I hope that y'all are right. I'm not trying to sit here and say that that's what they're going to do. We just have that risk. Period. We have that risk. There's no guarantees. Companies change and understand the convenience with having digital. I'm willing to adapt because obviously that's where games are going now.
Alright softie, so now we are going to talk about the mechanics. Some that I like, some that I'm indifferent, and some that I do not like. So let's get into it.
Okay, so the wins that I like is the body changes. I'm generally excited to see the body changes customizations return because it adds a layer of roleplay to the experience. We saw this back in San Andreas. It made you actually feel like you were living a life. That world, having to manage your diet and exercise isn't just a chore. It's a way to personalize your criminal journey. And plus, it's a cool tactical element if you're going into a high stakes heist. Physically fit should definitely help with your stamina and movement. reward you for actually engaging in the world. Now, weather physics, when it comes to the environment, I'm all about those dynamic weather physics. Since Vice City is a coastal location, we see everything from heavy tropical downpours to the high winds that actually affect how you navigate the map. I love when a game feels reactive. Rain isn't just visual filter, but something that impacts vehicles, handling, and NPC behavior. Forces you to adapt your driving and approach to missions, which keeps the gameplay from getting stale. This brings that extra level of life to the environment that we've come to expect from a modern Rockstar title. The potential for a hostage mechanic during missions or just during general chaos is honestly one of the most exciting additions. The idea that you grab an NPC and use as a human shield changes the entire dynamic of firefight, making it feel more intense and personal. It's not just about running and gunning anymore. It's about using the environment and the people in it to survive a police standoff. Whether it's part of a planned heist or just some spontaneous trouble you've stirred up, it adds that unhinged feeling that makes GTA so much fun. Now the indifference ones, the gas pumps. I'm completely torn on the fuel mechanic because I see both the pros and the cons. Spent countless hours in RDR2 where maintaining your horse is part of the bond you built with it, and I understand why they want to bring a realism to GTA. However, we are not riding horses anymore. We are in high-speed, modern supercars where the pace is supposed to be chaotic and fast. If I'm in the middle of a high-speed police chase and my engine dies because I'm low on gas, that's going to be extremely frustrating. Realistic, sure, but is it fun? Now let's talk about the world damage. Where buildings and infrastructures take time to repair is a cool concept on paper. The idea that my actions have actual consequences, I can see the city healing over time after I've caused a massive explosion. But I do worry about the utility of certain structures, like the gas station. If you blow up the gas pump in a moment of chaos, does that mean that the station is now unusable for a few days in game? Of course, you know I'm all for destruction. I don't want to accidentally cripple my own ability to refuel just because I wanted to see some things explode. Now, the Smart Wanted system. Our Wanted system seems to be leaning heavily on the RDR2 investigative system, and it is a bit of a mixed bag. I think it's awesome that the police won't just know exactly where you are once you commit a crime. It rewards you for being clever and using tools like a mask to hide your identity. But I can also see how this can be annoying. Forget to use your mask, or if an eyewitness spots you and starts an investigation, it turns the game into a constant game of cat and mouse. Definitely more immersive, but it's going to require a lot more focus than just running away and hide gameplay. It's softy, so now the straight up buzz kills. Definitely the weapon loadout. Honestly, the weapon loadout system is one of the things I am least looking forward to. We saw in RDR, and while it makes sense for a Western, it feels like an unnecessary restriction for GTA. If I'm in the middle of an intense firefight and my character doesn't have the gear that they need because it's stored somewhere else, it kills the momentum of the chaos. Personally, I play GTA for an over-the-top experience. Being limited to what I can use, it definitely feels like a downgrade in freedom. Another one is the social media integration. Yes, y'all heard what I said. To me, I feel like the social media integration honestly may just be a distraction. I understand that, again, they're trying to make it more in the times, trying to show like screen obsession culture. I'm sure that they'll do a great job with the humor, but I'd rather explore the city than be doom scrolling on the phone. Unless there is a real mechanic to use it, like tracking down bounties or discovering hidden side quests in real time, it just feels like another layer to filler. Hopefully I'm wrong and they will use it like in the way of catching somebody on live and we pull up on them type of thing.
GTA 6 is more than just a game. It is a cultural event that has been 13 years in the making. It's also a test for Rockstar, a test for the industry, and the test for the consumer, us. Are you okay with this being the new normal? Hopefully for those that did buy, we don't end up getting a big rocket launcher shot in the foot. Definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts, but besides that, y'all, I hope that you all have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is, whatever it is for you. and hope to see you all in my next one. Bye, softies. Time will tell.